11 to 13, what type of questions are there? True, false, not given, right? True, false, not given. Okay. So there are two types of questions in this passage, right? So first, what type of questions do we have to do? Should we have to do? What do you think? True, false, or fill in the blanks? Yes, it's better if we do from first, from filling the blanks. It means that always start from filling the blanks, okay? So look at this. Now, the problem, it is talking about a problem. So during exam also you can highlight like this way, in the same style. The dash of London increased. So just try to find the synonyms of increased. Rapidly. So what increased rapidly? That is of London between 1800 and 1850. So date is given, so like you can get some hint from here, right? So date 1800 and 1850. So this bullet, it means that we get our answers above than this, right? The streets were full of horse-drawn vehicles. So in the street there were horse-drawn vehicles, full of horse-drawn vehicles. So can you find these hints? Can you find this date 1800 and 1850? Oh, here is 1800, right? Here is 1846. Increase, what is the synonyms of increased? Can you find? Increase means grew, right? Is this? Grew means increased, right? Yes. And then rapidly means, what do you mean by astonishing rate? Do you know astonishing rate? Astonishing rate means rapidly. So the dash of London increased. So what of London increased rapidly between 1800 and 1850? So between 1800 and 1850 means, sorry, population. London's population grew. It means London's population increased, right? So you can just you have to match in this way. So what do you mean by between 1800 and 1850? Between 1800 and 1850 means in the first half of 1800, right? So in the first half of 1800 means from 1800 to 1850, right? L-I-A-N-P-A-U-L. So yeah, the development of London Underground Railway. So it is all about London Underground Railway. So the dash of London increased means London's population grew. Increased means grew at an astonishing rate means rapidly. And between 1800 and 1850 means first half of 1800. First half of 1800 means 1800 to 1850, right? So one number answer is population. Population. So this we are doing from Cambridge IELTS, Cambridge uh, test 1, passage 1. That is, the title of the passage is the development of the London Underground Railway, right? So what about the answer of 2 number? Let's move to the 2 number. So to get the answer of 2 number, there is in between you can see Charles Pearson. So where is this name? Can you find? Horse-drawn vehicles. So where is horse-drawn vehicles? Here is horse-drawn traffic, right? So Charles Pearson, can you find this name? So here is right in the second paragraph, first line. Charles Pearson is there. A solicitor suggested building an underground railway. Solicitor suggested building an underground railway. So solicitor for the city London. Solicitor. He saw both socio and economic advantages in building an underground railway. Right? Building the railway was possible to move people. So find more people. Where is more people? Move people means, move means relocate, right? Poor workers means people, right? So make it possible to move people to better housing in the, to better housing, to move people to better housing in the, who live in the inner city slums, to where to move, newly constructed suburbs, right? So the answer is just one word, that means the answer is suburbs. Suburbs, right? Then let's move to the 3 number below that. A number of dot agreed with Pearson's idea. So where is Pearson idea? Oh, here is Pearson ideas, right? Agreed means, agreed means support, right? I agree you means I support you, right? Yeah. So what is the answer of 3 number? Or number of dot agreed with Pearson's idea. So what is the answer of 3 number? Pearson's idea gained support among some businessmen. So who supports? So a number of agreed. Who agreed? Businessmen, right? Businessmen, right? Yeah. What about the answer of 4 number? The company initially had problems getting the data needed for the project. The company, so try to find the company had problems. So where is problems? Company problems. Paragraph. There is company, right? What about the problems? The company's plan was to construct. Problem means, problem means difficulty, right? So company means organization, right? Oh, what happened? Uh, where is that? Here is organization means company, right? So you need to match with the keywords like this. So in the question there is given the company initially had problems. So company means organization, problems means difficulty, right? Just you need to match their with their synonyms. Getting the dot needed for the project. In raising the funding for such a radical and expensive scheme. Scheme means project, right? So this is project. So what is the answer of 4 number? Scheme means project. Getting the dot needed for the project. So what was necessary for the project? Funding. Funding for such a radical and expensive scheme. So funding was needed, right? So 4 number answer is funding. Are you understanding? Little. So we have to just match. We have to. I mean, we have to just first in the beginning, just highlight the keywords from the question. Then after that, find its synonyms in the passage, and then after that try to match. Right. And always while doing reading of IELTS, always start from like fill in the blanks type of questions. It may be like one word only, no more than 2 words, one word and a number, summary completion, note completion, like these types of questions. And the answers are in order. Always they are in order. So let's move to 5 number. Negative articles about the project appeared in the. So negative articles. Can you find? Critical articles means negative articles, right? Appeared in the, printed by the press. So the answer is press. Let's move to the 6 number. It is all about construction. Oh, what is happening? So the construction is talking about the construction, right? Yeah. It is all about construction. The chosen route did not require many buildings to be pulled down. The chosen route did not require. Can you find the location? Where is the location? Construction. Is this talking about this? I think this paragraph is not talking about that, right? Where is? Oh, here. The construction of the underground line. So the chosen route did not require many buildings. That did not need many buildings. Is it mentioned where it is? I think here. The chosen route ran beneath existing main roads to minimize the expense of demolishing buildings. Originally scheduled to be completed in 21 months, the construction of the underground line took 3 years. So the curtain cover. Can you find these quoted words? It is in quote, right? Single inverted comma. So it's easy to find such words or phrases from the passage. So the curtain cover. Where is curtain cover? Oh, here is right. Yeah. So the curtain cover method was used to construct the tunnels. So it was used to construct the tunnels. It was built just below street level using a technique known as curtain cover. A trench. What is the answer of 6? Do you know the answer of 6? With the completion of the brick arc, the tunnel was covered with what? A trench about 10 meters wide and 6 meters deep was dug, and the sides temporarily held up with timber beams. Brick walls were then constructed, and finally a brick arc was added. A brick arc was added to create a tunnel. It is talking about tunnel. With the completion of the brick arc, the tunnel was covered with. Final brick was added to create a tunnel. A 2-meter deep layer of soil was laid on top of the tunnel, and the road above rebuilt. So what is the answer of 6? Soil. So it was covered, the tunnel was covered with soil, right? Here is written a 2-meter deep layer of soil was laid on top of the tunnel. It means cover, right? So answer is soil, right? SOIL. So we have completed 6 answers, right? Let's move to the 7 to 13. Now we have true, false, and not given. So what is the answer of 7 number? 2. Now 7 number answers. We need to find out the location. We need to find out the location of that 7 number. So if you get the answer of that 7 number, then it's easy to get answers of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Let's find the location of 7 number. Other countries had built underground railway before the metropolitan line opened. So you can talk about, you can just search this metropolitan line. So I think this paragraph is talking about metropolitan line, right? Yeah. So other countries had built underground railways before the metropolitan line opened. So in the passage, if that is given that metropolitan line line, that is a railway line that was built by other countries. That is true. If that was constructed by London, because we are talking about London, no, then that is false. So if that is not constructed by, whether that is given by other countries or London, if that is not mentioned, then not given. So what do you think the answer? How is it false? So it is saying that other countries had built, right? This one, it is saying what? The Metropolitan Line was the world first underground railway. So world first underground railway was Metropolitan Line, that was of London. This is, we are talking about London, no? So it is saying other countries, it is saying London. It means the answer is false, right? Yes. Let's move to say 8 number. So when you get the 7 number answer, then just other answers are just below than that. All answers are in order, okay, of true false. So what is the answer of 8? More people than predicted travel on the Metropolitan Line on the first day. So in the passage, if more people than predicted is given, that is true. If more people than less people than predicted is given, that is false. And if that is not mentioned clearly whether more people or less people in the paragraph, then that is not given. So what will be the answer of 8th number? More people than predicted, more people than guess travel than true, less people than guess travel than false. If more or less, if that is not mentioned clearly, then that is not given. How is it true? More people traveled on the first day. Here is right. Hmm. On its first day, almost 40,000 passengers were carried between Paddington and Farrington, the journey taking about 18 minutes. By the end of the Metropolitan's first year of operation, 9.5 million journeys had been made. So, is there in the passage, is it talking about more people than predicted or less people than predicted is given? Is it talking about? It is saying just almost 40,000 passengers were carried from this to this, between this and this, but it is not talking about like more people than predicted traveled or less people than predicted traveled, right? So the answer is not given, because it is not given clearly now whether that more people than predicted travel or less people than predicted travel. It is not mentioned clearly. So if that is not mentioned clearly, you need to write not given. Is it okay? That is 8 number. So let's move to 9 number. Yes, 9 number. The use of ventilation saps. Try to find these keywords. Ventilation saps failed to prevent pollution in the tunnels. So where is ventilation saps? Try to find the keyword. Hmm? Did you find? Where is ventilation saps? Oh, ventilation saps. Yes. Great. So what is the answer? The use of ventilation saps failed to prevent pollution in the tunnels. So in the tunnel there was pollution, right? So it means that use of ventilation shaft failed. So there was ventilation, but that was failed to prevent pollution from the tunnels, right? So if ventilation shaft failed, that is true. If ventilation shafts didn't fail, that is false. If whether that failed or not failed, not given, then that is not given. So what do you think? True. How is it true? It ventilation shaft failed. Yes. So what is written here? Smoke and however Smoke and fumes remained a problem. Smoke and fumes remained a problem even though ventilation shafts were added to tunnels. So though there was ventilation shafts were added in the, to the tunnels, but smoke and fumes remained, still there was problem, right? So it means it failed. Ventilation shafts failed, right? So answer is true, right? So what about 10 number? What about 10 number? BACHIRA 6969. Hello. Yeah. So what is the answer of 10 number? A different approach. A different approach from the cut and cover technique was required in London's central area. So if different approach was required, that is true. If different technique was not required, that is false. If that is not mentioned clearly, then that is not given. So it is saying that different approach from this technique was required. It means new technique was required, right? So where is this? Oh, here is cotton cover. I think this is the answer, right? So what do you think the answer of 10 number? Sorry? True, right? Are you saying true? So it is saying that a different approach from this technique was required. It means that a new technique was required. It was not used. I mean, it was not okay. Different approach, a new approach was required. So it is also saying that the cut and cover method of construction was not an option. So this was not an option in this part of the capital. The only alternative was to tunnel deep underground, right? So the answer is true, right? Yeah. So what about 11 number? The windows on City and South London trains were eye level. Were at eye level. Where is this? Windows on City and South London. Oh, here. So the windows. Where is windows? Had tiny windows, right? Were at eye level. If they were at eye level, that is true. If they were not at eye level, that is false. Whether that is not given, whether they are at eye level or not, then if that is not mentioned clearly, then that is we need to write not given. So what do you think the answer of 11 number? So were the windows at eye level? What is written here? Look, the carriages were narrow and had tiny windows just below the roof. The windows were just below the roof because it was thought that passengers would not want to look out at the tunnel walls. So they were just below the roof, means above the people, right? Above people's head. So they were not at eye level, right? So answer is false. It is saying we're at eye level. It is saying just below the roof because passengers do not want. If they were at eye level, passengers would look no outside. So the answer is false, right? So what about 12 number? The City and South London train railway was a financial success. So if that was financial success, that is true. If that was not financial success, then that is false. If not given properly clear, then that is not given. What do you think 12 number? What is the answer of 12 number? So the answer is The City and South London railway was a financial success. So was that financial success? It did not make a profit, means just opposite, right? So false. So what about 13 number? Trains on the two-penny tube. So what did you understand? All answers are in order, right? Yes. So trains on the two-penny tube nearly always rain on time. If the trains always rain on time, that is true. If two-penny tube is here, right? If the trains always rain on time, that is true. If never rain on time, that is false. And if whether that is if that uh, is not mentioned, that whether always rain on time or not, then that is not given. So what do you think the answer of 13 number? Then in 1990, the Central London Railway, known as the Tube and Tube, began operating using new electric locomotives. It was very popular, and soon afterwards, new railways and extensions were added to the growing tube network. By 1907, the heart of today's underground system was in place. So it is not talking about that whether they always really rain on time or not, right? So it is not given, right? So completed one passage we have completed. So how is this? Is it easy or difficult? Oh, oh. So in this way, just you can do this. Um, so this is, and finally, so let's move to the next passage to part two. Okay. So normally part one is the easiest, and part two is medium, and part three is the hardest. That is the understanding of people. So let's move to the part two. So in part two, yes, from question number, let's read the title. What is the title? Stadiums past, present, and future. Stadiums past, present, and future. This is of Cambridge IELTS Cambridge book, book 17, test 1, passage 2. Okay, and the title is Stadiums past, present, and future. So what are the types of questions? So topic is not that much complex, right? It is saying stadiums past, present, and future. It means it is not that much. It is clear. It is talking about the stadiums, like how was it in the past and how is it in present and how will it be in future. It's all about the stadiums. So if the topic is clear, if the topic is easy to understand, it's not necessary to read the passages. If that is not understandable, then in that case only you can read the first paragraph, right? So directly, just let's move to the question. So in 14 to 17, what type of questions are there? The passage has 7 paragraphs A to G. Which section contains the following information? It means matching information, right? So yes, matching information. So in case of matching information, I told before also, if matching information is given in the question, don't do that kind of question in the beginning, okay? Because um, because it consumes more time. And 18 to 22, what are the types of questions? Yes, complete the summary below. Choose one word only from the passage, right? Yes, up to 22. And 23 to 26, MCQ, right? You need to choose the correct option. Over. So there are three types of questions in this passage. So which one, from which question type, we need to start? What do you think? Yes, exactly this one, right? From question 18 number to 22. Okay. Yes. So topic is given here, Roman amphitheaters. So you need to find out where is Roman theaters. Which paragraph is talking about Roman amphitheaters? Can you find this word first? amphitheater? Amphitheater is here, right? So where is Roman? We need Roman amphitheater. Oh, it is also mentioned that built by Romans. Built by Romans means Romans amphitheater, and star is given here, so it means that like its meaning is given at the end of the page, at the end of the passage. So what do you mean by that? Amphitheater means, especially in Greek and Roman architecture, an open circular or oval building with a central space surrounded by tiers of seats for spectators for the presentation of dramatic or sporting. Did you understand? So it is open circular or oval building, central space surrounded by tiers of seats. So it's like a football stadium, something like that. There is space in between, and in all sides, like there are some places for people seats. There are some seats for the spectators. That is called amphitheater. Okay. So yeah. So what is the answer of 18 number? What will be the answer of 18 number? Can I do it this way? Oh, yeah. How to keep this way? Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Oh. Confused. So what will be the answer number? Versatile. Is it really? No, any idea? No idea. So look at this. Like it is saying the Roman Stadium of Europe, right? So versatile is given here in the passage, so that won't be the answer because it is given here, right? So the Roman Stadium of Europe have proved very versatile. So it is saying that just how versatile stadiums can be, right? Hmm. The amphitheaters of Isles, the amphitheater of Isles, where is this? The amphitheater of Isles in the beginning that is given, right? The amphitheater of Isles, for example, was converted first into a what? First converted into a what? It became fortress with four towers after the 5th century, and it was transformed into a, transformed means conformed, right? Sorry, transform means convert, right? So first into a dot dot village, then into a residential. Oh, no, 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 no. Residential area means, residential area means village, right? So it is saying that, for example, was converted first into a what? First converted into a what? Then into a residential area, then into a village. So before village, it transformed into what? It converted first into what? It became a fortress. It became a fortress with four towers after the 5th century, and was then transformed into a village. So it is saying that, for example, was first converted first into a fortress, then into a residential area. So residential area means village, right? So here is fortress. Fortress, like this. Is it clear? Clear. Then And finally into an arena, and finally into what? Finally into an arena where spectators, where people could watch what? Finally into what? Containing more than 200 houses. With a growing interest in conservation during the 19th century, it was converted back into an arena for the staging of bullfights. So where spectators could watch what? Bullfights, right? So 19 number is bullfights, right? Bullfights. Is it okay? What about 20 number? Meanwhile, the arena in Verona. Let's find this name. The arena in Verona. Find this word. Oh, here is right. One of the oldest Roman amphitheaters is famous today. So this is famous today. Today, Arena in Verona is famous as a venue, as a place where is performed. So what is performed in Arena of Verona today, right? With a space 300 spectators, which was built 60 years before the IELTS amphitheater, 40 years ago, before Rome's famous Colosseum. It has endured centuries and is currently considered one of the world prime sites for opera thanks to its outstanding acoustics. So famous today as a venue where is performed. Where what is performed? Currently means what? Famous today, right? As a venue where is performed. So where what is performed? World prime sites for opera. So world prime site means place, venue. Sites means place. So place for opera. So where opera is performed, right? Opera, you know opera, right? The site of Lukács. Where is this? The site of Lukács. Let's find this. Here is Lucca. Amphitheater has also been used for many purposes over the centuries. Is yet another impressive example. The site evolved in a similar way to ours and was progressively filled with the buildings from the Middle Ages until the 19th century, variously used as houses, right? It's been used for many purposes, right? So it is given there, including the stories of product. So storage of what? A salt depot. Depot means storage, right? So the answer is depot means storage. Storage of what? Salt depot. Yes, so storage of salt. It is now a market square. So where is market square? Market square. Market square. With and homes. So you can take help of homes. So where is homes? Homes and what? In the remains of the Roman amphitheater. Homes is given. Homes means residence. So residence and another is shops. So the answer is shops, right? So we have completed this one also. So how is it? Is it difficult or easy? Which one? fortress. This is second passage. Comparatively, it is quite it is harder than passage one. But you need to practice. And what I want to suggest, every day just read some articles, read some any articles, books, novels, magazines, stories, essays, whatever. Read every day and then just write after that. Okay, is it okay? Yeah, you get it, no, Manju? So you need to improve your skills, right? To do better in reading, you need to improve your skills. Like every day, as I told, no, just every day read books, novels, stories, essays, whatever you want. I mean, just read that every day, 1 2 hours, and don't and do practice every day. So let's move to the now. Like we have matching information in the beginning, then after that we have fill in the blanks, then MCQ, right? So always we have to do this matching information at the end. No, we can do like this also. If matching information is given in the passage, then on the basis of this, like we have studied 1 2 3 paragraph, right? So on the basis of this, let's read one time 14 to 17. If I mean same answers is also given in the same paragraph, no? So did you read about the mention of negative towards stadium building project? Did we talk about negative attitude? Not really. Figure means number, showing the environmental benefits. This kind of thing. Did you read? Hmm? No, no. So examples of wide range of facilities. Did you read the wide range of facilities about facilities at some new stadiums? What kind of facilities are there in new stadium? Did you read about this? This kind of things? No, no. So reference to the disadvantage of the stadiums built during a certain era. So reference to the disadvantages of the stadium. Did we read about the disadvantages of the stadium? No. That means we can narrow down. While doing this questions, it's we can narrow down like this. Don't read this paragraph. No, how many paragraph? 3 paragraph. Yes, we can highlight. Yes, right. Let's do multiple choice questions now. Let's do 23 and 24. This one we will do last, because if we do like in the beginning, it takes more time, because to get the answer of 14 number, just we just narrow down, no, like while doing this 14 to 17, don't read this B and C, this paragraph. That's why just I highlighted. So yeah, so you can start from here now. You can do this, and when you do this, then after that again go back to this type of questions again. So oh, it is saying section D. So go in the section D is here. So this is section D, right? In section D we have 2 paragraph. So these answers are in section D. So what is the question saying? When comparing 20th century stadiums to ancient amphitheaters in section D, what negative features does the writer mention? Did you understand the question? Then after that, read the passage, read the paragraph, sorry, D section. So it is saying there are many similarities between modern stadiums and the ancient amphitheaters. So between these two, there are many similarities, right? Intended for games. So they were for games, but some of the flexibility was lost at the beginning of 20th century. So in 20th century, flexibility was lost as stadiums were developed using new products, because in stadiums, new products were used, right? Such as steel and reinforced concrete, and made use of bright lights There were also use of bright lights for nighttime matches. For nighttime matches, bright lights were used. And many such stadiums, this kind of stadiums are situated in suburban areas. You know suburban? Urban, you know urban, right? Suburban means it's between town and city. Yes. So many such stadiums are situated in suburban areas, so designed for sporting use only. So these are only for sports and surrounded by parking lots. These factors mean they may not be accessible to the general public. So they were not accessible to the general public, were not allowed, require more energy. The energy was used more to run and contribute to urban heat. So you get some ideas now. Now, what the question is asking, when comparing 20th century stadiums to ancient amphitheaters, which two negative features does the writer mention? So you need to find out the negative features. Let's read this now. On the basis of this, let's eliminate. They are less imaginatively designed. Is this paragraph saying that they are less imaginatively designed? Less imagine was used while designing. So it is not saying anything about less imagine or more imagine, right? So this one we can eliminate. This is not right answer. We need to choose two options out of five. They are less spacious. Do they have less place, less space, less space? Is it talking about space? More space, less space? It is not talking about more space or less space, right? Design for, it is saying only for sporting use only. So more or less it is not given. So this is also, we can eliminate. Both are wrong answers. Now out of three we need to choose two. So they are in less convenient locations. Are they in the less convenient locations? Convenient means easy. They are in less easy locations, right? So it is saying that many such stadiums are situated in suburban areas. So maybe this one is not easy for all people, right? So we can say they are in less convenient locations. This one is, maybe this one is okay, right? They are less versatile. Less versatile means, variety, yes. So they are less versatile. So it is saying that designed for sport use only. They are not versatile. It is only for sports, right? Maybe this one. Or if you become confusion, if you have confusion, then let's read this one. They are made of less durable materials. So what kind of materials are used? Less durable materials, then that is true. If that is not mentioned, then false. More durable materials, then false. What about this less durable materials? So it is saying that as stadiums were developed using new products were used, such as steel and reinforced concrete, bright lights for night matches, right? So they are less durable or more durable, we cannot say anything. Hmm. So this is also eliminate. So answers are C and D. So in this way just you have to do. So on the basis of this, let's do one more time. Let's read one more time this 14 to 17. So mention of negative attitude toward still improving project. So it is also not given. Figure number showing the environmental benefit kind of thing. It is also not given. Examples of wide range of facilities, not given. Not given. Reference to the disadvantage of stadium built during a certain era. Yes, disadvantage of stadium. Disadvantage is given. Flexibility was lost at the beginning of 20th century. And disadvantage stadium built during a certain era means 20th century. Disadvantages, what are other disadvantages? Designed for sporting use and is surrounded by parking. These factors mean they may not be accessible to the general public. Like this is also disadvantage. So D number answer, like 17 number is which paragraph? D. Paragraph, yes. Here is written the passage has 7 paragraph A to G. Which section contains the following information? Actually, we are not doing this one, but actually we are doing this one. So on the basis of this, we are getting the answer in the same paragraph. No. So if this type of question is given in the passage, just you need to do in this style. Hmm. I think we will do this much for today, and you can just try this one. And so we have completed some of this. Let's check. Like these are our answers. These are correct answers. So this we did read this one. Green means all correct up to here. Then after that we did D. Fortress, bullfights, opera. Yes, CD. Yes, all are okay, right? This we have not done. Uh, you can just try in the same style, and finally you can check in this way also. Okay, so you can do the same test once, like both. We did. We did from book 17. This test. So yeah, part one, part two, part three. This one. Is it okay? You can try. Let me share the link. So how is the reading? Hmm. How is this reading? Hard. But you are telling the answers. Hmm. Oh, wait, just a moment, right? Let me delete it. Delete for everyone. I don't want to send there. I just send you in personal. Yes, I have sent here. Okay. Mm. Yes, please ask me now. Yes. I got that. Yeah. Sometimes I record. I record the class and just I yeah. Coming Thursday. Yeah. Oh, only for this week you want to take leave on Friday, right? We can do yes, we can do. You mean that we can do on Thursday, and we want leave on Friday, right? Okay, that is possible. Yes, sure, we can do. Yeah, is it okay? Yeah. Any questions today? Okay. Just you can practice in the same style. Practice more and read more. Just improve your skills. Yes, and we will continue tomorrow. So today is it's Monday, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you want to leave on Friday, right? Okay, sure. We can do. Okay, sure. Okay, thank you. Good night. Bye bye. Thank you, Liam Paul. Hey, Liam Paul said hi. Bajira. Hello. Where's this? Annie Horka. ANNIE.